If you're a real estate agent running YouTube ads or just thinking about it, you're most likely making at least one of these three mistakes and it's destroying your results without you knowing. I've seen agents burn thousands of dollars on ads that never had a shot at converting, not because the market's slow, but because of these small mistakes that are 100% fixable. In this video, I'm gonna break down the top 3 YouTube ad mistakes that almost every agent makes, including one that barely anyone talks about, and it's costing you leads and deals before your ad even starts running. And stick around to the end because I'm not only pointing out the problems and the mistakes, I'm going to show you how to fix each one as quick as possible. Let's get into the video. So these are the 3 mistakes right here that I'm going to go through, and these are the most common ones that I've seen after speaking with hundreds of realtors every single month running YouTube ads, that a lot of them make, that I just want you to avoid altogether. So that's what I'm going to go over. And again, I'm going to show you actually how you can fix them. I'm not only going to show you the mistake, but how you can fix it so you can just avoid it. And you're going to see if you're making any of these, that's a good sign, because then you know that you can just go ahead and fix it right after watching this quick video. So the first mistake that I see a lot of realtors make, and this is with the actual ad itself, is not selling their lead magnet enough. To not selling the lead magnet. I'm gonna make this bigger as well. So let me first start off by saying what a lead magnet is and why you need one. And this is something I get pushback on from realtors a lot of the time. They're like, oh, why can't I just talk about myself? Why do I need a lead magnet? Well, the reason you need a lead magnet, Karen, is because people don't know who you are and they don't care. Unless you're retargeting to a warm audience, nobody really cares who you are. They don't care about your accomplishments. Unless you're the number one realtor in your market, then you can get away with just running a branded ad, not having a lead magnet. But for 99% of realtors who are running YouTube ads, it's going to be your best bet to run a lead magnet. And the reason you need to do that is because with real estate, you need a way to build trust and to differentiate yourself. You can't just say, hey, I'm the local realtor. If you're ever thinking about buying or selling, just give me a call, right? Because you just position yourself as a commodity because every single other realtor in your market's doing the same thing. So how are you going to stand out? In today's day and age, it's all relationship based. People go with the realtor they trust the most. And if you're like every single realtor, nobody's going to know the difference between you and the dude next door, right? So you need a way to stand out. And the best way you can do that is by providing value, providing a unique mechanism upfront without asking for anything in return. So that's why you need a lead magnet. So now that that's out of the way, we know that we need a lead magnet. Then we're going to go into what I mean by not selling your lead magnet. So you can have the best lead magnet in the world. And when I say that, it can be like an ebook, a guide, a video of some sort of free training, anything like that that's actually valuable, that's applicable to the audience you're targeting. So if you're targeting sellers, you're going to offer some sort of resource for how to increase the value of your home, how to sell your home quicker, and stuff like that that's actually applicable to them in their situation. So what I mean by not selling it though is you're basically not positioning it in their best interest. So what comes to mind is I had a realtor I spoke with just two or 3 days ago. He kept tweaking his ad. He thought he had a really good lead magnet, and even if it was for buyers and basically seeing homes that aren't on Zillow and Realtor.com, right? Because now not everyone has to put their home on there. And it's like, okay, you can get access to all these other homes. He thought it was going to do really, really well. But when I took a look at it, I saw why it didn't work. It's because he wasn't selling it enough. He wasn't positioning it in their best interest. So you got to think, what do they want? A buyer wants to buy a home for less money. They want to do it quicker and just more conveniently without getting into a bunch of bidding wars. So that's what a buyer wants. They don't care if they're getting access to more homes if it doesn't have any benefit for them, right? So you have to position it not only what they're getting, but why that's actually beneficial to them. And that's why his ad wasn't working. And now we're making tweaks based on that. And it's going to do 100 times better. I can already tell. So I'm going to show you actually the examples as well that I want to go through. So here's the first one of not selling a lead magnet. And this is just like a couple of sentences from the ad. It's not the whole ad. If you want to see my entire ads, you want stuff that works, feel free to book a call with me in the link using the link in the description below. But for this case, we're just going to go over a little bit. So this is an example of not selling the lead magnet. So sellers who use this method are getting way better results. So if you'd like to find out what these sellers are doing so that you too can do the same, we can help you with that. Right? So it's just pretty wishy-washy, kind of glossing over the subject, not really positioning it in their best interest. All we're saying is getting way better results. What does that mean though? So I'm going to show you a good example. Sellers who use this method are getting way better results than those using the old-fashioned traditional methods, and they're getting way more money when they sell in a more convenient way. So if you'd like to find out what these sellers are doing so you too can get more money more conveniently without spending thousands on repairs, without the showings, and in under 7 days, we can help you with that. So you can just see the night and day difference. It's pretty obvious. But if you're thinking about selling your home, which one are you going to go with? The one that says, oh, we can get you better results, or the one that says you don't have to spend thousands on repairs without all the showings and in under 7 days? Obviously, you're going to go with this one because it sounds like the perfect dream scenario, which is how you need to write an ad. You need to write it with their best interests in mind. So that's an example right there of writing or selling your lead magnet. And a good exercise to do this is by writing, okay, who are we targeting? Buyers, sellers, anything like that. It can be in any industry, but then write what is their dream outcome. And then you can basically just position it like without spending thousands on repairs, without the showings in under 7 days. That's basically ticking all the boxes of what a seller wants. That's why this would do really well. So that's exactly how you sell your lead magnet. If you're not doing that already, just think about what do they want and then just add it in there. Position your lead magnet like it's the dream scenario that they've been looking for, and position it as unique. So without using the old-fashioned traditional methods, and also showing, hey, it's not only going to get you all these dream outcomes, but it's also unique. It's not like the other stuff out there. And that's pretty much the formula for a killer ad. Unique and also valuable to them. That's really all you need. So that's the first mistake, not selling the lead magnet. Now, mistake number 2 is not split testing. So, what is split testing? So, back in high school, when you were doing the scientific method, and you basically have to isolate different variables for what to test. That's the exact same with this. You need to basically change one variable at a time, and that's what split testing is. So, there's a million different variables you can change. There's the ad, there's the landing page, there's the audience, there's the hook, there's the targeting, all that sort of stuff. But you want to change what's going to give you the highest ROI once you optimize it. And I'm just going to tell you from my experience, it's the hook. So I'm going to show you my exact campaign structure of how I split test so you can do the same. So here's the exact structure. So it starts with one campaign, one audience, and 3 ads with different hooks. And that's split test right there. You see, you're keeping everything the exact same because if you change more than one variable, you're not going to have enough evidence to know if it's this variable or this one that you change or this one. So you always want to change only one thing. So you're going to have one campaign, one audience, and then 3 ads that are the exact same, but they're going to have different hooks at the beginning. And the hook is the first 15 to 30 seconds of the ad. That's something that you should know if you're running YouTube ads, but it's basically you're getting their attention and also calling out who this is for. But that's how I would do it. I'm not going to go into depth on how much budget I allocate to each ad, how long I let them run, what data I look at. And it can be in another video, or if you want me to do it for you and show you how, feel free to book a call with me. But that's exactly what you do. You need a split test because what works in one market, even if you have the quote unquote best ad in the world, that this ad script that's just like a gold mine that's going to print you money. So this person's selling you go and run it and you find out it's just not doing well. And that's because what works in one market is not necessarily going to work in another. That's one of the biggest objections I get from realtors about YouTube ads. Oh, no, how do I know that this is going to work in my market? Oh, you don't know that. That's why we need a test. I can't tell you which ad we're going to go out and run is going to work in your market. That's exactly what I'm doing on the back end, is testing all these different things for you to find that messaging, to find that ad, to find that audience that resonates the best with your specific market. And then we double down on that. So if you're not split testing, if you're not testing different variables, seeing what works in your market specifically, you're going to be getting outperformed by all the other ads out there. And your ad's never going to be actually reaching its full potential, right? And you could have one ad out there. You could think it would be doing well, but you go run a different ad, changing just the hook, and you're going to find out it's getting 10 times better results. And you'd be like, okay, why did I not do this beforehand, right? It's just, you need to be split testing. You need to see what works in your market, and you can always be optimizing stuff. So even after I find a winning ad, what I'm going to do is go test it with a different audience and see if that helps increase the results we're getting. But always test different stuff. If you're getting a lot of clicks but not any leads, maybe split test a different landing page or change the messaging, but always change one variable at a time. But you should always be split testing and seeing what you can improve upon, what you can optimize. That's over the long run, probably going to save you a couple $1,000s each year of running ads. It's just split testing. So that's mistake number 2, is not split testing. And now the last one, this is one that probably the last 5 or 6 realtors I've spoken with that have been running YouTube ads and they haven't been doing great, they were all making this exact mistake. And the thing is, it's super, super simple. You can change it in about 30 seconds. And most people don't even know how to do it or why it's happening. But when you do it, your results are just going to instantly increase literally like that just by changing these settings on the back end. So it's basically choosing the wrong placements. Now, what I mean by that, if you're not familiar, basically with Google Ads or YouTube Ads, because it's all run through Google, as I'm sure you know by now, but you can choose different placements for your ads. And when you're running a YouTube ad, you might think, okay, my ad's always going to be on YouTube because it's a YouTube ad, but that's not how they do it. Google secretly tries to basically waste your budget and put it into other spots just so they can have your money. It's not really going to get you anything. And I've tried it before and it didn't work. And this is what I see a lot of realtors doing wrong. So I'm going to show you how to actually fix this so you can just get better results instantly. I'm talking about literally within 5 seconds, your results are going to be 100 times better. So in your campaign, we're going to start on the campaign level. So after you have your campaign, I'm not going to go through all this. I have a ton of videos on this. Basically, the first thing you're going to change is under devices. You're going to set specific targeting, always unselect TV screens. Now that's the first one. That's something you should always be doing that you should know already. But these ones now are a bit more advanced that I'm going to show you. So after you choose your targeting, get all that stuff in there. This is the first one right here, channels. So it defaults to all Google channels. Your ad will show across all eligible Google channels, driving campaign performance. But that means it's going to be shown on Gmail, Google Maps, Google Display Network, which is basically, to give you the long story short, it's not where you want it to be, and you're going to be wasting money on that. You're not going to get any leads coming in through that, but it's going to be draining your budget. So you're going to click Let Me Choose, and you're only going to do YouTube in-stream because that's what a YouTube ad is. That's what we're making these ads for. That's all you're going to do. So unselect all these and only do YouTube in-stream. Now that's the first one. And again, always turn optimized targeting off as well. Now the other two that I want to show you, and this one's really important as well. So number one, turn video enhancements off. You're going to get your video URL in there. You're going to paste it. I'm going to turn this off, by the way. There's a lot of stuff you need to change. Oh, and also, if you do want to see me going more in depth into this, go check out this video right here. It's actually a really good one, kind of step by step. But anyways, you're going to click choose where your videos show, and it's going to say prefer on, and it's selected all formats automatically or by default. So you're going to click here, and you're only going to do in-stream again. Turn all those off and only do in-stream. And that's exactly what you need to do. So change the placements. Make sure, the big overarching thing is you only want to show your ads on YouTube in-stream. And that's what we're optimizing for. So those are the 3 mistakes. And if you change all of these, I'm telling you, your ads are going to be better than 99.999% of realtors, because I've seen them all. I've seen realtors making this mistake time and time again. But now that you know this, you can just avoid it altogether. And if you do want me to set this up for you, basically do everything I just went through in this video so you can kind of fast track your success. If you maybe want to skip the learning curve, just have somebody who's already done this across the US, across Canada, and all different markets, just come in and do it in your business. Feel free to book a call using the link in the description below. We can have a quick chat. I can take a look at your current YouTube ads if you're running any, see how you can improve them. Or also, if you're not running any, I can show you what type of results you can expect in your market if it's still available, and we can kind of go from there. But anyways, link in the description to apply to work with me. But again, I do appreciate you watching this video. Have a blessed day.